Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another day of great awesome Blender tutorials. I'm your host, Jordan Willis, and today we're gonna take a look at how we can recreate this scene. Check it out. Okay, so we're going to do this in Blender, and right here in Blender, I have this scene where I have a plane here that projects the image, background image. We have three lights and a plane here for the shadow of the text, and if we play this, bam. Okay, so let's jump right into Blender. Okay, so let's create our new scene here, and okay, so if you have the box there, delete it, and now let's create our actor. Let's add a let's see, text, and then press 7 on our numpad so that we can see the text from on top. Press tab. Let's edit this. I'm gonna put my initials and then hit tab again to get out of edit mode. So let's enlarge this. Press S and scale it a little bit, and let's go to our object properties, object data rather, and then extrude it. So let's not get too crazy here. Let's see. Oh. So maybe 0.08 would do. And add some bevel to it. Okay, smoothen it a little bit. There you go. So let's press 7 and let's rotate this in the x-axis, or the red one, the x. So press R to rotate, and then to constrain it to the x-axis we press X, and we need to rotate this 90 degrees, so we press 90 and left click. So if you press 1, it's now here. Okay, so let's just arrange this. Now I wanna add a little bit of spacing to this, maybe a little bit, 1.2. There you go. And while we're at it, let's add a material, a new one. Let's add a let's see, a bluish tint and a little bit of intensity maybe, so that we can brighten this spot here. And while I'm here, I'm going to put a mirror. Tick on this box and add some reflectivity, maybe about maybe half, 0.5, so that later when we add our background, we can see the reflection. Yeah, let's put our background right now while we're at it, right? So go to textures and click this world icon here. We're going to change our world texture. Let's add a HDR image. So if you check out my file, I've got here a 3 HDR images. These are equirectangular images, which means these are taken 360 degrees around, okay, and being patched up and stitched together in a program. So we can patch that to our world. Okay, so I'm gonna use that. So where is that thing? I'm gonna go to new and add a image or movie right here, and then click open in the image tab. I'm gonna look for my file. Let's see, locate the file right here, open image. There you go. And let's not forget to map it correctly as equirectangular. There we go. Whoa, equirectangular. And influence the horizon, of course, because we want to influence the world, the horizon. So now if I press F12, it should reflect the world. Okay, so looking nice. So my camera is right there. I want to project the camera here, point the camera maybe here. Let's see, like this. So Control Alt numpad 0, or if you want, you can go to View, Align View to Camera View. Control Alt numpad 0. So the camera shifts to our perspective And then of course we can press G to grab it and move the camera while selecting this rectangular here. So now it's probably the right time to create our plane. Okay, so now let's go out of this and add a mesh, a plane, and then let's scale it. Okay, just enough to engulf our shadow. Okay, now let's add a material to this plane. Click new, and then let's go to shadow panel and then make it receive shadow. Yes, but shadows only. Okay, so now if I press F12, there you go. So now we have our shadow. Looking great, looking great. Now the problem is our lighting. Let's fix our lighting. So let's Shift D to duplicate it and add one here. Duplicate again, Shift D, maybe beside the camera, and then let me get some space here. So this guy, I want this guy to project shadows. Yes, this guy I don't want to project shadows. I just wanted to give some light, so no shadow. And also on this guy, no shadow. Okay, there you go. So I hope this works fine. Let's F12 preview that. Okay, looks okay to me. That's fine. I'm gonna fix the shadow of this guy. So let's add some soft size, maybe samples, maybe 2 samples. I have a great computer, powerful computer, because I'm rich, so I'm gonna put 3. Okay, maybe some threshold. I'm just playing around with this, guys. Let's see. Okay, now to make this work, you have to change the object type of this guy to a let's see, a mesh. So let's select this actor and then go to object and convert to mesh. So now that's no more a text, it's actually a real object now. It's no more a text. Okay, so what we can do is push this on top. And now how this works is, if we change this render type to render to Blender game, it will apply all of the physics in real life to these objects in the stage. So if you check out this tab here, the physics tab, the physics type of this object is now static, and the physics type of this now is static. But if you change this object to a rigid body, it will become an actor. And if you change this to collision bounds, check this, and change this to convex hull, and you press, while your cursor is in the stage, press P, it will create that physics simulation for you. Okay, so press escape. So what we can do here is to arrange our object so that it will fall correctly. Select the object and look for the object tools and the origin, so that we can move our cursor or our gizmo to the correct location. So let's click origin and origin to center of mass. So I'm gonna click that. So if you check out our animation, it should bounce correctly. There you go. Now, but what we want is it to bounce each letter, not as a whole. Okay, so we need to separate our letters. So what we can do is maybe zoom in a little bit and go to wireframe on our viewport shading, wireframe. This is like the X-ray vision. So we need to deselect this by pressing A. A selects everything, A deselects everything again, so it toggles it back and forth. Now we can press B. I'm pressing B and click drag to select one item, and I'm on object mode, I think. So we need to go to edit mode and click A, and again, do it again. Okay, click B and click drag. So make sure everything is selected and not anything else. Okay, just the item that we want. And then we need to separate this from the object. Press P to separate P. Okay, and separate by selection. And then we need to do this by exit this by clicking object mode again. So now if you select this guys here, let me see, this guys is now separated. We need to separate the S, and if you click this, yes, it's separated. Okay, so now I want to separate S, so go back to edit mode and then press A to deselect, press B to select, box select, and click drag. Again, it seems that I cannot select it. Let me see, how can I do this? Let me see, it takes a little bit of practice. Oh, I know. This guy, let me go out. I think you guys also have the same problem. We need to remove this gizmo from our eyes. So get away. Okay, so now I've got space to work. Press A to escape that. Press B. There you go. now I can do this. Press P again. Selection. Okay. Alright, there you go. So now if I deselect and press this, okay, go back. There you go. Finally. So now what will happen now is we can get out of wireframe, go back to solid, and if you press P, hopefully it works. Yes, it works. Okay, so now it falls weird. I don't know why. Let me see. Let's check this out. S, origin to mass, center of mass. This also, origin to center of mass. And this one, origin to center of mass. Again, press P. I think that's correct. It's a little slow. I don't know why, but one way to do that is to look at the attributes and add weight to it, or mass rather. Add mass. I'm gonna put some mass on this, make these guys heavy, like they drank lots of whey protein shakes. And just play around and go to our world, and now our gravity is the same as in Earth, 9.8 meters per second squared. Yes. So let's change that to a different planet. make it really heavy. So let's press B. So now it falls really powerful. Alright, escape. So that's good enough. I'm gonna box select all, and then okay, so we can drag all of it maybe here. Now is the time wherein I'm going to wait a minute. Why is my camera there? Let me see our camera. Press 0 on our numpad. Okay. Select the camera. Hit G. And then we want to see the plane also. So what we can do here is to zoom out. Go to our camera. While this is selected, you have the yellow thingy or orange thingy. Go to the camera. And then let's change this focal length. Okay, and change this a little bit. Go out a little bit. Maybe you can play around with the sensor size if you want. Okay. It will not play here, but in Blender game mode it will work. Okay, so I think it works nice. We can move in a little bit. Press G and just, you know, play around with this stuff. Alright, that's okay. I want to select these items here. I'm pressing shift, by the way. Make it higher. Okay, so if I press P, okay. I'm gonna put a background to this template by using a picture. This is our picture, our floor in our house, and it's quite dirty, but we can use this as our background plate. So I'm gonna use that now. Okay, now I'm gonna create a let's see here, a plane. So add mesh plane and scale it a little bit, and then rotate this 90 degrees, R X 90, and then push this backward in let's see, Y space, because the green is Y space. Okay. So if I'll check it out in my camera, press 0 on our numpad, that will be our plane. We can project the image right there. So I'm gonna scale it a little bit and press S and to scale, and then maybe on a Z axis only. Press X. Okay, just so I'm gonna rotate this a little bit on the X axis because I like it so that it's just aligned to the camera, right? Should be. There you go. Scale a bit. Make sure that if we render this, it will hide the background. I mean the world. So let's put the image right there. Let's put this here. Okay, so let's go. While that is selected, let's go to texture, and let me see. We cannot go to texture without adding a new material to this. So go to material, check new material, and then we don't want this to accept lights or whatever. Take this shadeless and then receive shadows. No, I don't want it to receive shadows. Okay, just a plain, you know, like a plain nothing. We just want to put this texture here. So click new texture, and then where is that? Where does it allow us? Here in the type, change this to image or movie. Now open and navigate to our folder. Okay, hit the image, and then we don't want this to be maybe generated. It's nice. I'm gonna change this to window for now. Influence the color, yes. So now with this setup, it's now loaded, and it's influencing the color. It will change this color of the plane. So if I F12, it should, yes, it's the floor is right there. So that's a good thing. We have a problem here, slight problem, because this plane here is intersecting and it's obstructing our view of the background. What I can do is maybe make it transparent. So select it and then go to its object, and let's see, is there a way I can make this transparent? Let me see. Hold on, guys, hold on. Yes, there's transparency here. I'm gonna check this, and then F12. Voila, it's gone. So that's good to go. So let's test this. Let's see if it will appear in the texture. No, it doesn't. Okay, so let's go. Press P, and it should play the animation. Okay. Alright. So to record the animation, so if you want to change the bounce more, you can select the item. For example, I want to change the bounce of this guy, and go to the physics tab again and change the bounce. If you want more bounce, I'll add more bounce to it. Maybe if I put this a higher number, press P, and I hope it doesn't crash, it will fall a different way and bounce more. if I select the S and add more margin, press P to play it. You can test out these simulations on your own, add more, maybe add more mass, add more radius, and even you can check the plane and, you know, check the physics of the static and the bounds. But for now, these settings are, I think, the best. Okay, so now let's record the animation. How do we record? Even if we play this head, I'm right clicking, by the way, and dragging. We cannot play it because it's in the Blender game. So what we can do is transfer the data to our Blender render. So while that is selected, Blender game is selected, you go to game and record animation. And now if you press P, but here if I press P and play it, it will record from 0. So I want it to start the animation from maybe frame 45. So I right click and click 45, and then I'll press P. Hopefully it will record. To check that, let's go to change our viewport to dope sheet, and now we can see the animations are being recorded right here. Okay, so if we go back to our 3D view and hit play here, it should play now. There you go, in slow motion. Alright, that works. So it stopped here. I want to stop the animation from here, so I'm gonna put this start to end and end it to this number here, so that it will not render up to that time without nothing happening. So it's still moving from here. I'm gonna drag it a little bit more. Okay, so it will render from here to here. Now we can fix this camera by grabbing it and pressing G to grab, and maybe push this downwards. Hit F12 to make sure that it's still, this image here projected to our plane is still obscuring everything in place. So what you can do is to check the lighting, make sure it's properly aligned. So now if I press F12, the light is here and it's the same as the shadows that are projected in the real house. Okay, so also the plane is almost correct. It's even better than what I did before. Okay, looks nice. Okay, so now we can render that. Hopefully everything's okay. So let's go and click our scene here and go back to Blender render, and change our settings here. For now, I'm gonna go to HDTV 720 because this is just a demo. And then 100% quality. Change the location of your output to wherever you want. For now, I'm going to accept that TMP in my folder in my computer. PNG, yes. Overwrite, sure, why not? And change this to H.264. But some computers don't allow that. You can use MPEG or XVID if you want to watch it in your TV. I'm gonna use H.264, and in encoding you can use presets like DVD, VCD. I just use H.264. You can do DVD quality if you want, and then for now there's no audio. And once you checked everything, the start frame to end frame, okay. To make it faster, you can do 50 frames per second. I did 50 frames because this is too slow. So if you do 24 frames, it will be super slow motion like that. But if you do something like 60 frames per second, then that will be very fast. So let's do that. And I'm gonna hit animation and maybe rest for a while. So you can hit animation. Go do it. Okay, we'll be back in just a sec. Okay, now that's finished rendering. I'm gonna check out my folder. I haven't seen this, so let's Navigate to our folder, PMP. Here it is. Let's see it, play it. Let's see what happens. Alright. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And we will see you next time.